This is the VTOMAN FlashSpeed 1500 power station. It fills from empty to full in about an hour and has enough steady muscle to keep a refrigerator cold while I brew coffee, which is exactly what I want when the lights go out or I am away from a wall socket. I think of this as a portable power station, basically a big rechargeable battery that can run real household appliances and charge all the small stuff without drama. It makes the most sense for people who want a dependable backup at home, campers who do not want to fuss with a noisy generator, folks traveling in a recreational vehicle, or anyone who needs to run tools or computers where outlets do not exist. I fall into a few of those groups, so I pushed it across a bunch of different days and places to see what actually holds up. The design is simple and honest. A sturdy rectangular body, black with yellow accents, and two solid handles that make it easier to lift and shift. It is not light. We are talking a little over 40 pounds. That sounds like a lot because it is, and I feel every pound if I carry it more than a short walk. The trade-off is it feels planted and tough, like the kind of thing that survives being moved around a garage or a campsite. I like the little storage compartment on top more than I expected. I keep the wall cable, the car cable, and a short universal serial bus cord in there so I'm not hunting through a backpack at night. The front display is large and clean, and the layout is intuitive. The only gripe is brightness. Indoors it is fine, but in direct sunlight I need to shade it with my hand to read time to empty or time to full. Around the back there is a built-in light that covers a tent or a small room better than a tiny indicator lamp. It has low, medium, and high, plus a flashing emergency pattern. Small touch, genuinely useful. Getting started is almost zero effort. There is no external power brick to manage. I plug a standard wall cable into the unit and it wakes up and starts charging fast. The first time I tried it, I set a timer because I did not believe the 1-hour claim. From empty, it finished in just about an hour on my household outlet, plus a few minutes here and there depending on what else I had plugged into the same circuit. That recharge speed changes how I use it. I do not plan a day around charging. I top it up while I make lunch, and it is ready before I head out again. The buttons for the different sections are obvious and responsive. I like that each group of ports can be turned on or off with a tap, which keeps phantom drain low and makes it clear what is active. The screen shows input watts, output watts, remaining battery percentage, and an estimate of time left. The estimates are close enough to be useful, and they update quickly as I add or remove devices. Power output is where this thing earns its name. It delivers up to 1,500 watts continuously, with surges up to around 3,000 watts to handle that initial kick when a motor starts. In plain terms, I can run a drip coffee maker without tripping anything. I can use a hair dryer on a lower heat setting while a fridge cycles on and off. A miter saw starts up, runs, and stops without brownout behavior. I used it with a compact air compressor to top up car tires. It did not blink. When I deliberately pushed past the limit with a space heater and a microwave at the same time, the station handled it by cutting down the load to protect itself rather than allowing a hard crash. That approach is safer for the battery and for plugged-in hardware, but it can be a little confusing if you expect a clean shutoff. The fans are the other part of performance you will notice. During rapid wall charging and during heavy loads, the fans spin up and they are clearly audible in a quiet room. Outside at a campsite, they blend into background noise. Indoors late at night, I hear them. I tested it in the ways I actually live. During a planned power outage in my neighborhood, I ran my cable modem, my wireless internet router, a small desk lamp, and charged 2 laptops and 2 phones. The unit did not hiccup. The uninterruptible power supply feature is the sneaky hero here. I left my modem and router connected as if it were a pass-through power strip. When the grid cut out, the handoff was so fast that my video call did not drop. If you rely on a continuous positive airway pressure machine, a home server, or any equipment that cannot lose power even for a breath, that fast switchover matters more than any specification sheet. On a weekend camping trip, I used the built-in light for the tent, ran a 12-volt cooler through the car style socket, charged a camera battery, and used the universal serial bus Type-C ports to fast charge my laptop and phone. The universal serial bus Type-C ports can put out up to around 100 watts each, which is a big deal if you use a modern laptop that expects real power. I did not bring my separate fast charger. I did not need it. The 3 standard wall outlets are spaced well enough that I can plug in chunky power bricks without blocking each other, and they are at the front where I can get to them easily. For a more demanding test, I plugged in a full-size refrigerator at home and opened the door to make it cycle more often. The startup surge did not bother the station. With the fridge settled, I added a coffee maker in the morning and it still felt unbothered. If I were to run that combination for hours and hours, the battery would obviously drain faster, but that is the whole trade-off conversation. The capacity is a little over 1,500 watt-hours. In use, that translates to running a typical fridge for several hours, or a modem and router and a couple of laptops all day, or charging phones and tablets for an entire camping weekend without thinking about it. When I wanted more headroom, I connected the optional extra battery pack and doubled the capacity. That adds weight, but it completely removes range anxiety for a long off-grid stretch. Charging options are flexible. Wall charging is the one I use most because it is so quick. There is a port for solar panels, up to around 400 watts, which worked fine with a folding panel set on a sunny day. It is not a full-time solar generator replacement, but it is a good option at a base camp or on a bright patio. Charging from the 12-volt car outlet is slower, but on a road trip it keeps the battery topped up while driving from one stop to the next. There is also an option to jumpstart a car with a separate accessory cable. I did not need that in an emergency, but I tried it on an older sedan in my driveway and it fired right up. If you travel far from help, just knowing you have that as a backup adds peace of mind. A few quirks matter over time. The display could be brighter outdoors. The cooling fans are not whisper quiet when the unit is working hard. Weight is the trade-off for sturdiness and large capacity, so I treat it like a small piece of luggage and slide it rather than carry it far. None of these are deal breakers for me, but they are real. The flip side is durability and longevity. The battery chemistry inside is lithium iron phosphate. That means it can be charged and discharged thousands of times before it noticeably loses capacity. VTOMAN rates it for more than 3,000 cycles. For the way I use a power station, that adds up to many years without worrying the battery is wearing out after a couple of summers. The case and handles feel ready for that kind of lifespan. The port selection is the right mix. 3 standard wall outlets, 2 universal serial bus Type-C that actually deliver laptop-level power, 2 universal serial bus Type-A including a quick charge port, a 12-volt car socket, and 2 barrel-style ports for fridges or lights. I never felt short of options. One specific use case that sold me is emergency coverage at home. I set it up as a mini hub next to my network gear. The modem and router stay plugged into the power station all the time, so the uninterruptible power supply function is always on call. The remaining outlets are free for a lamp and to charge phones. When my neighborhood had a short outage right before a remote meeting, everything stayed online, and I could keep working as if nothing happened. When the grid came back, the unit switched back and started topping itself off without me lifting a finger. That is the kind of quality of life improvement you only appreciate once you experience it. Another scenario is a day in a park filming a project. My camera batteries, a small light, a laptop for offloading footage, and a wireless audio receiver all needed juice. The VTOMAN sat under the table and quietly kept everything powered. I liked not having a tangle of different chargers and extension cords. There are a few smart touches that stand out. The top compartment means the cables live with the unit, which cuts pack time and reduces the chance I forget something. The fast wall charging changes how often I use it because the downtime is low. The expansion battery option grows with needs rather than forcing a full replacement later. And the uninterruptible power supply feature bridges gaps automatically, which is the difference between a stressful blackout and a minor inconvenience. To wrap this up, I recommend the VTOMAN FlashSpeed 1500 power station to anyone who wants dependable portable power with very fast wall charging, real household level output, and a design that is built for years of use. If you need to carry a power station long distances on foot, the weight will bother you. If you need absolute silence in a quiet studio while pushing heavy loads, the fan noise might be a factor. If those are not deal breakers, the strengths here are exactly what most people actually need. It is a trustworthy backup at home, a practical companion for camping and road trips, and a solid base for creators and tinkerers who run gear away from outlets. If you want more videos like this, hit subscribe, drop your questions or your own experience with the VTOMAN FlashSpeed 1500 in the comments, and I will get back to you. Thank you for watching.